Welcome, welcome back to another episode of Carving the Divine TV. Today is a Carving the Divine special, and we have a special guest, and I'm going to introduce my special guest shortly. But before I do so, I'll introduce myself. My name is Yujiro Seki. I'm a director, writer, and the producer of the documentary Carving the Divine. Carving the Divine is about the Buddhist sculptors of Japan, and I'm ready to present this documentary for the first time in the world. But before I do so, I thought it would be a great idea to present information about Buddhism and the history of the Buddhism, so that when you guys finally watch my documentary, you guys can watch it at the maximum value. With that being said, I would like to introduce our returning scholar and professor, Mr. Peter Bolland. Welcome back, Mr. Bolland.
Hey everybody, hi Yuji, it's always a pleasure to be here.
Great. So just in case for the people who don't know that much about you, please introduce yourself.
Sure, so I'm a professor of philosophy and humanities at Southwestern College here in California, where I have the honor and privilege of leading young people through a study of the world's wisdom traditions and the mythologies and religions and philosophies that have taken shape over the last millennia as human beings like you and I have tried to figure out what the heck's going on around here. So I like my job a lot, and I'm really thrilled to be able to do that. I also write a couple of columns. I'm a singer-songwriter. I teach lots of lectures and workshops off campus, and you can read about all that on peterbolland.com.
Great. So I would like to dive into the question today. And in order for us to move forward, understanding Eastern tradition, I think we cannot ignore this very important concept. So the question is that what's the difference between ordinary knowledge and transcendental knowledge? So Please tell us all about it today.
Sure. So, when I hear those two categories, ordinary knowledge and transcendent knowledge, or in Sanskrit, prajna, P-R-A-J-N-A, prajna. Those two categories, I think of a philosopher, a Buddhist philosopher called Nagarjuna. And Nagarjuna lived about 150, 200 years in the Common Era after Jesus in India. And he became a Buddhist, and he really is responsible for a kind of renaissance in Buddhist thought. This is 600-700 years after the Buddha, right? And so India needed a little reminder about what Buddhist philosophy really was. And he made a huge contribution, and especially on this theme, by recognizing that there are layers of understanding or layers of knowledge. Ordinary knowledge is what you and I are very familiar with. It's what we use all the time. It's how we navigate the world. It's how we learn how to make things like this technology. Ordinary knowledge is composed of words, concepts, sensory evidence, analogies, comparing things together, all that beautiful stuff that we call reasoning or intellect or cognition or knowing. That's ordinary knowledge. Nagarjuna says that there is a higher level of awareness or knowing that comes typically through meditation or other yoga paths. And it's not just more ordinary knowledge. It's not just a bigger quantity of ordinary knowledge. It's of an entirely different order of awareness. So ordinary knowledge is thinking, and it has content and concepts. Transcendent knowledge, or prajna, is pure awareness without thought, without concepts. I know that sounds crazy, but that's what the yogis report experiencing out of their meditation practice. And when we get good at meditating, we learn how to separate from our thought stream, our concepts and ideas, and we feel ourselves slipping into a much more boundless, spacious knowing or awareness that doesn't have any specific thoughts because it's beyond thought. And yet there's still this unmistakable realization power that comes out of it, of intuitive grasping. So it's difficult to talk about transcendent knowledge or prajna because all talk exists at the level of ordinary knowledge. So therein lies the problem. Whenever you try to talk about prajna or transcendent knowledge, you fall short.
Wow, so the conversation that we are having right now cannot express the true essence of a prajna. Is that correct?
Right, we can point at it. And I love that saying from the Zen Buddhist tradition that all thoughts, all words, all concepts are like a finger pointing at the moon. And only an idiot would confuse this finger with the moon. The ordinary concepts, the concepts of ordinary knowledge are like the finger pointing at the moon. They show us where to pay attention. But as we move into our attentiveness of that higher transcendent awareness, we end up leaving thoughts and concepts and words behind. So I'm afraid the insights of prajna or transcendent knowledge are ineffable. They cannot be expressed in words and concepts, but they become embodied as lived wisdom. You have your being there. Your consciousness is rooted in that. It helps you move through the world and navigate and act, and it opens up your heart into a more compassionate way of being in the world.
Great. That was always you blow up my mind.
Well, good. I'm glad to hear that, but minds need to be blown, and maybe what we mean by that is, all that ordinary knowledge, it falls apart by itself. I mean, when you start to reflect on the possibilities of the limitlessness of what consciousness really is, it can't be contained in that ordinary knowledge. It just can't.
Great. So yeah, I want to know more about what's going on in your life because we want to know more about this tradition. You explain to us right now, but I'm sure you can you go details in your lectures. So please tell us about your activities and stuff.
Sure. So I'm all over the place giving 1 and 2 hour lectures and workshops, and in a 5-10 minute video like this, we can really sketch a lot of it, but to really go into it deeper, we do need more time, huh? So yeah, go to my website, peterbolland.com, look at the calendar page, and there you'll see a whole list of upcoming events that you can attend in the San Diego and California area and beyond. And there's also links there to my YouTube channel. And of course, I'm on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and all that stuff. I'd love you to join my mailing list. That's also on my website, peterbolland.com. And thanks for this opportunity. It's such a pleasure to be with you again.
Great. Awesome. So if you guys think this information is useful, make sure to subscribe my YouTube channel, follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and like me on my Facebook page, because that's how we do it in the 21st century. And one more thing, make sure to subscribe our email list as well, so where you can get the information about the new upcoming episode of Carving the Divine TV and the movie Carving the Divine itself. So thank you very much, Professor Bolland, for this opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you so much, brother. I'll see you soon, I hope.